But I think that's always like the most interesting stuff. Whether it's like an intentional mix or like you're some jazz artist that's heavily influenced by like hip hop,
Yeah.
or you're like a composer in class. Like, so a good example of that. My friend from New York, he put me on to this old Japanese band called the Fishmans,
Yeah.
and they're like this late. They started in the late 1980s, and they started off as a Japanese reggae band,
Yeah.
which is like crazy, Japanese reggae.
That.
But then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then they've developed into like electronic and techno, but then also like psychedelic jazz.
Yeah.
But it's like so they have this one song I really like called something. I'll find it.
Yeah.
But they're like really dope. The way the genres blend. You see that all the time. People like
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about hip hop, like my music really is like based on like the school of MF Doom with the sample chops and like the
Yeah.
Alchemist stuff, right? They are all sampling like old jazz, or they're sampling whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They're sampling all type of things from all over the place. So I think that's really a testament of like what music already is. It's just like,
How do they
keep
find
mixing
those
and
samples
matching.
too? Like that's
Mhm.
wild to me how they find those samples.
Yeah, it'd be random stuff,
Yeah.
man. Like in the Kendrick Lamar, the new Kendrick GNX, right? On TV off, that second part where he's like, mustard.
Yeah.
The sample is
Yeah.
from Dragon Ball Z.
No way.
Yeah, it's like I think unless there's the edit, but I'm pretty sure the sample in the second part is like Dragon Ball Z when Goku's going Ultra Instinct, and it's like this super. It's dope, man. So it's a crazy blending of things.
You know who's crazy with sampling is Timbaland.
Yeah. He's one of them guys, man. He been doing it.
I know back in the day, like I forgot what album it was, but it was like one of the older albums, and he took like a crying baby in the studio and like sampled that crying baby into one of his tracks, and I'm like, dang, like you must have an ear for something. Just even normal
it definitely
noises.
takes an ear,
Okay, guys, we are rolling. So whenever you guys want to start,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were already rolling.
I'm rolling. I've
Let's
been
roll.
rolling for 2 minutes. So, but
Let's roll.
I just want to let you guys know.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's roll.
Yes, sir.
We're rolling. Are you gonna? Is that gonna be in the video too? You saying that? There we go.
Surely.
Yeah, no, it's cool because even like if you have that ear, even just a normal noise, you could, if you have that ear, it's like, oh, I can make something out of that, or even just a simple like knock, or
Literally that, like
or
Tyler.
like just sounds.
Yeah.
You know?
Tyler, you're talking about a knock, right? Tyler
Yeah.
created in his last album that one song "Sticky" is just like the lunch table freestyle beat where there's banging on the table.
Yeah,
Flipping that. It's cool, man.
yeah.
I don't produce yet, but I got some ideas. I have a lot of ideas. I tell a lot of friends whenever I'm like executive producing a song or a beat,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, let's take this one song and then let's throw some like old LA hip hop G-funk sounds on it. Let's
Yeah.
flip Dora the Explorer and turn it into like Dr. Dre or some shit, like some random things like that. It's
Man,
fun.
do you have a favorite producer?
Yes, it's super biased because like they're my friends.
Yeah.
All my favorite music for real is like my friends
Yeah.
within LA. So I'm gonna go down the list.
Put us on.
Zayal Caps,
Mhm.
he's my good friend from SAC. He lives out in LA.
Mhm.
He has produced a song of mine called They Can't Kill Me. Kwame Adu, he is from Jersey,
Ooh.
and his alias or his like producing name is Black Sex. So these are all performing artists, but they also produce and rap and do all types of shit. But Kwame, he's actually producing my next EP coming out on the 1st of January.
Starting the new year off with a
Starting
bang.
off, yeah.
There we go.
So that EP, I don't know if I can cuss, but that's the title.
No, you could cuss, yeah.
So the
Fuck it, just cuss,
yeah.
man.
The title is called Kami-sama Was a Nigga, but He's Dead Now.
Mm.
And it's a very nerdy but also like black empowered project. But he produces the 4 tracks on that. So I got Kwame. I got my boy Papalardo.
Mhm.
He is from out here, I believe. He stays out in Altadena. And he produced my first EP called man, what's it called? I'll be forgetting my own music.
Well, you probably put out a lot of music, right?
Yeah, Ain't Sweet is what it's called.
Okay.
I put out a fair amount, man. I mean, I exist in an interesting space
Yeah.
as far as like music. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine named Danye. She's also an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about that we exist in the digital age, and especially with if you're a rapper or artist or musician, you gotta deal with Instagram and TikTok and social media. But for me, I get really decent engagement on Reels and Instagram.
Yeah.
But I got like no streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm realizing I might as well just lean into what I am, like where I'm getting the attention, and then trust that it's going to cross over eventually. Which it kind of is happening.
Why do you think that is though? Like the engagements there on social media?
It depends. Well, actually, I could, if I really take the time to explain it, I do understand why. But simply, it's because people are lazy to go through, and so like you get this idea of like, okay, our attention span's already so short, where we're watching the first 7 seconds or 3 seconds of a video. If we don't watch it, then we're skipping on, right? But no one wants to like click the link in your bio and go stream the song.
Especially how many times you tell them to click the link in the bio.
Yeah, no one wants to do that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I realized just show them what you can as soon as you can. And so if I can get 10,000 people to watch a minute, then that's a victory. But if those same 10,000, if 10% of those people can't go stream the song, that's just because they didn't want to click the link in the story or look up HEZY on Spotify. So I think that's the reason why. It's just like people are just already in the scroll.
Especially since it's right in front of them too. Do you think they're more just so visual? They're more visual about a concept rather than just like clicking a link and then listening to it? Because maybe, yeah.
So that's what I realized is like, okay, I'll just keep going where I'm winning, which is just in the reels. And it's like I'm not hitting crazy numbers yet, but you know, I feel like my numbers have been growing as of recent. So
Are you on TikTok?
I'm slightly on TikTok. I started for a hot second and I stopped just because I got distracted. But like it's funny, there's a couple of videos randomly where like on my friends' pages that I'm in that went super viral.
Yeah.
Like one friend of mine, his name's My Favorite Color. He's a rapper.
That's his name, My Favorite Color?
My Favorite Color.
Oh, okay.
He's a rapper based from LA. He was discovered by Mac Miller back in 2018.
No way.
Super dope.
Yeah.
But last year he was going viral like every video he was posting. And one of the big ones he did was this diss to Dan Schneider at Nickelodeon.
Oh.
And that was like before
the creator, right?
Yeah. that was before the whole that one documentary that came out on HBO talking about
all the stuff behind the scenes.
And he was like calling him out. It's like, what the fuck is up with Dan Schneider? So that video came. I'm up in there. He did this other video dissing this bald guy that was talking shit online, and that the song's called Bald Nigga. And then if you look on like On the Radar or whatever, it's there.
Yeah.
And then there's another video with my boy Kai where we were at the fair, and you know those slingshot rides that you go up on. We were just like on that, and we were just talking the whole time with like no reaction to the ride, and that got like 18 million views, and I was like, holy shit.
Something simple like that too could just blow up, which is crazy.
You never know what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's the challenge for I feel like all artists nowadays is to try to catch that lightning in a bottle. But then it gets tricky because then are you doing things that's serving the art of music, or are you just trying to serve what's going to get the engagement? And that's
like are you doing it just for the attention, just to go viral?
Yeah, like are you just doing a bunch of shock value stuff, or like this most outlandish, eye-catching, weird thing that's gonna make people watch the video?
Yeah.
Or do people, it's a combination of different things. You really have no idea what is gonna go and blow up.
Right.
It always takes that. It just takes one. And that's what everybody's kind of going for.
It just takes
that one thing.
And then people know you from that one thing, whether it's music or just whatever you do, whatever art form you do, Yeah,
and so the trap is like if that one thing is like a attention-based focus. Like if you got caught and you were like pouring a gallon of milk on your head, now you're the gallon of milk dude, and that's what people are expecting.
Yeah.
Versus if you did some.
How do you feel like for a music artist too, though, if they're, say like a song goes viral on TikTok, for example, and they literally just go viral from that song, right? And that's all they're known for, and then maybe they don't get enough attention with their other music, right? So like, how do you feel? It's just like TikTok famous, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel about that? Like, that's their song. It's like their 15 seconds of fame, but it doesn't hold up because it just goes by like that.
Yeah, so that falls upon the individual, whether they were doing work consistently or not. A good example of that, in my opinion, is Tommy Richmond, right? He huge, blew up, and it's crazy, like, because within this underground scene of LA, he all the people I mentioned beforehand, and also some more folks like this other guy named My Name Isn't J-Mac. We were all like based around in LA, and right before Tommy blew up, he was doing music with all these folks, and was around, and he blew up with the $1 Million Baby. And but what I know about him is that he was always working really hard and making great music beforehand, and then into his album that he released. And so I think it's just up to the artist whether that 15 seconds becomes 15 minutes or 15 years.
Yeah,
like Billie Eilish is a good example too. Like
that's
she had
true.
Bad Guy, and then she turned it around. And it's just harder because of, like, even back then, Billie Eilish, like 2018, she blew up. It's been 5-6 years.
She's still holding her new album is great.
But like in that time period, the attention span's gotten lesser and lesser and lesser in that short amount of time. And so it still is up to the artist of, like, talks to like the caliber of who you are as an artist, if you can beat those 15 seconds.
Because it's just a viral hit at the end of the
but
day.
at the same time, like on a complete opposite side, like, you can hit that 15 seconds and be good for the rest of your life too.
Honestly, yeah.
You know?
Like one hit wonder.
You know? So it depends on what you want to do. Like, you can also just be totally fine with just doing that. But like someone like Tommy, for example, I know he really cares about his music and is trying to have longevity in it. So it's all about your approach afterward. And also your team. Your team helps you out a lot too. If you have the right team around you, you can't fail.
Based off of his music, Tommy's music, do you think, I mean, he's very talented. Do you think he has the ability to outgrow that one song? And
I mean, from like the shit I've heard, both like released and unreleased, I think so. Like I know a lot of his like collaborators. Like one guy worth shouting out is John Weyemeyer. He's out here, got a studio in Burbank. Like I said, like the team matters, bro. And like I just know the artists that are around him that just make his music sound the way it is, and also himself. He really cares about it. He studies the shit. I mean, I think a perfect example of that is like you don't end up on Camp Flognaw for no reason.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be good.
After that one song, he's never been the same, baby. I had to do that. Yeah. Well, so describe what music you do, man. So you're a rapper.
Yeah. So I'm a rapper. I'm a lot of things, man. But so I'm based in LA, from Los Angeles, California, Mid City specifically. I'm an actor. I did my first movie this year. It's called The Underdogs on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Starring Snoop Dogg, George Lopez, Mike Epps, and I play young Snoop Dogg in that movie. So check out Underdogs on Amazon Prime.
There we go. We're learning something new. Yeah.
So I act and I make music, and so like I said, music wise, I'm like the easiest way to categorize me is under the school of MF Doom, but I'm also like a LA dude, so I got like hella influences from Kendrick, of course, but even more so like LA MF Doom type artists. You got people like Navy Blue and Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt. Oh my God, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Well, you gotta tune in, man. He's doing some things right now.
There we
with the
go.
Folks.
Yeah,
but things like that. But I kind of do bounce around.
So what was it like playing Snoop Dogg?
Oh, that's fun, bro.
Did you have to smoke a lot?
So it's not Snoop Dogg that we know, but it's a character Jason Jennings in the movie. It's a scripted comedy,
right?
And so I'm really playing this entitled retired NFL star is what the character is,
right?
But yeah, I was studying mad Snoop. I was listening to hella Snoop Dogg. His trailer was next to mine when we were filming, and I was definitely getting into the persona.
Yeah,
100%. Like I was listening to hella Snoop Dogg Pound stuff.
Did you wear the sunglasses too? You know?
Oh yeah, it's funny. If you check it out, like the beginning of the movie, it's like the intro to the story, and it's like me and the flashbacks and going through high school and then college and then the NFL and the pitfalls of all of that.
He has a very recognizable voice. Did you have to try to hone in that voice too?
Not for this film.
Okay.
There's some more stuff in the works that will hope to be a part of soon. But
Cool.
no, this one was just really just the action and the behavior
Gotcha.
of like being a rich retired NFL player.
There we
Which
go.
was hella fun to do. It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Are you good at it? Or are you good at football?
You know, I didn't play football. I'm an athlete. I played soccer and baseball growing up, up to college. And so I always lie. I always say like the stunts you see, like all the catches in the film was me, but they didn't let me do that because they were on a schedule.
Yeah.
But they had some talented athletes.
Don't
that
let
were
the
doing
honeys
this
know
kind of
that.
work.
You gotta say
Oh
that
yeah,
was you.
now I'm a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yeah, don't
I
let
got
the
a
honeys know
Wheaties
that.
box. I was just, you know what I'm saying? All of that.
Yeah.
That was me.
That's funny, man. I mean, no, I feel like, just you being out there, I'm sure you're getting honeys, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say the women don't love me, but
Yeah.
I ain't gonna speak too much. I got a little sister, you know. I got a
there you
mom
go.
too.
Yeah. Be respectful.
You know.
Respectful. Yeah. No, but yeah, so you rap. Do you do modeling as well?
Yeah, I do. So I go over like the full portfolio. I guess I act, I model,
I
I
saw a
make
couple
music.
of modeling photos on your Instagram.
Just like everything creative. I make visual art, but the modeling really just kind of like I'm 6'2". I'm tall enough to model. Kind of just makes sense with everything else I do. And like I've always been around fashion, just being in LA and being in like certain crowds and groups and things like Fairfax when it was a thing.
You can't be short and be a model.
You can just don't, you know, you gotta have to work hard. You can do like commercial work. Like when it comes to like commercial work, it doesn't matter your height, but
Yeah.
like I got to do runway for the first time in 2022.
Oh, what was that like?
That was fun. It was cool. It was with this brand called Kenneth Nicholson. Ended up on the Vogue website, which is fire. Like they had the Vogue runway, and then so that was like my first intro to that. Done some more runway stuff. All of the modeling stuff has all been just relationships with people I know, and different brands.
Do you have
So
to practice to do the runway? Like, do you have to practice
Yeah.
a certain way to walk?
Yeah. People definitely, it's definitely a right and a wrong way to walk a runway. But
and then eye contact.
yeah, simply it's like just being confident and then hitting your mark and not being sloppy posture. Like I have
I need to fix my
right
posture
now.
right now. Thanks
You
for.
know,
I'm always on Zeus about our posture.
I'm
like,
super comfortable. So
Yeah.
definitely practicing it.
Yeah, gotta make sure I don't have that nerd neck on my. I'm slouching like this. Yeah. No,
I be
that's cool.
gaming though. I don't know about you. I'm a gamer too. Speaking about nerd stuff, I'm a super nerd. Like,
Man, I'm not a gamer.
Anime nerd, cartoon nerd,
Yeah.
movie nerd.
Me, Malachi,
Super nerd.
me and Malachi finished. The only anime that I watched all the way through from beginning to end was Death Note.
Okay, that's good.
That's
great.
a good one.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I think I
Malachi got me onto that actually. So
well, shout out Malachi.
yeah.
I figured out that I think the best, just through trial and error and processing, have showed a bunch of people the best anime to show people to start is called to me I think it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Have you heard of Full Metal?
I get that all the time.
Yeah. So Full Metal Alchemist, to sum it up, without spoiling, it's a great story. You have like all of like what they call shonen anime tropes, which is just basically like the Naruto, like the kiddie superhero actiony kind of vibes. Then it's also got real stakes. It's got great. It teaches a lot about dealing with grief in different ways and traumas and then the character development's great and then the background characters are really good and it's only 60 episodes, so it's not too long.
Yeah. Or each episode
is
like 20 minutes?
Yeah. So I would say if you never watched anime, start with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and you'll be good.
It's the cliffhangers in Death Note that got me.
Oh yeah,
Each episode at the end was like, oh man, I got to see the next
over here.
episode. I know. I know, literally
Yeah,
with a pen, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm all
Yeah, nah,
looking.
Death Note was hard. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Actually, it
Malachi.
traumatized me when I was a kid. I remember my cousin showed me. I was like 6 years old, and my cousin was watching it, and I was like, "Oh my god, writing your name in a book and you die."
Yeah.
I was like hella paranoid for a while.
Is that real? Is that real? I mean, there's maybe a few. No, I'm not. No, I'm kidding. I was gonna say maybe there's a few names I can. No, that's funny, dude. Yeah, do you go to anime conventions? Because there's a lot. Out there.
I've never been, and this next year's gonna be the year I go for the first time.
Really?
And I will like be in full cosplay. I got my character decided.
Yeah.
I got the homies that want to go to. We're gonna be like a group. It's gonna be dope. But I've never been, and I've always wanted to.
Yeah, you know what's cool? So
looks super
the
fun.
job I was telling you about, my side job, I work with higher functioning
Uh-huh.
clients at the other job, and he loves going to anime conventions.
Yeah.
Loves it. He always dresses up kind of the same every time. Like he has his own ninja outfit and all that.
Okay.
He puts it together. Really cool. And he always wants to take me and bring me along. Dude, the people there at these conventions, they're so dedicated. So dedicated. And they go all out, man.
Yeah, they make a lot of them make their own costumes, and it's very impressive. Like,
Yeah.
they're really like costume designers and artists.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone there is so nice. They'll even ask, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" Because they love your cosplay, and they
Yeah.
take pictures with each other. Dude, it's like its own community.
Yeah, no,
there.
I'm definitely trying to participate this next year.
Yeah, what would you go as if you did go, or when you
There's
do
a
go
lot
for
of
the first
characters,
time?
but
Yeah.
it'll be some black anime character. They got a bunch like Killick from Soul Eater or I don't know. It depends. Trafalgar Law is one of my favorite characters from One Piece. He's dope.
Whatever mood you're in at that time, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever I feel like I'm a rock out with. But yeah,
Not rock out with your cock out, but I mean,
definitely not. No, not at a convention.
Yeah, some people be dressing pretty risque there at some of these
Hey,
conventions.
man,
Yeah.
woman empowerment. You can do what you want to do.
There you go.
Don't mean you gotta be a creep.
That's
if
true.
you a dude, just because a woman looks nice, you don't gotta do no creepy shit.
There's a big sign at a lot of these conventions too. They'll say cosplay is not consent. So you always got to ask.
Oh, that's fine. That's great to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause what the fuck?
Yeah. Don't be going up to anybody. Like if you're a girl or a guy, don't be going up like, hey, like,
Yeah, nah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, dude, cosplaying, I feel bad because I don't, when I do go to the conventions with my client, I don't dress up. I don't cosplay.
Oh yeah, you're lame. You gotta do that.
I know.
You gotta dress
I
up,
did.
bro.
I did do it once. It wasn't a character of anything.
Even if you buy a mask or a hat.
With this one, I bought
enough.
a sushi outfit and I wore
Okay.
a headband.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
a sushi
not bad.
headband. And what else did I do? And I think that was it. And then the other times I'll just wear a wrestling
It's
shirt.
more than nothing, you know.
Yeah, because I'm a wrestling nerd, so I'll wear a wrestling shirt sometimes.
Did you see the new documentary on Netflix with Vince McMahon?
I've been wanting to see it.
I seen like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Shit's
that dude
crazy.
is wild, dude.
It is wild. It's
I
very dope.
feel like his character in WWE isn't that far off from who he is in real
No,
life.
that's exactly what they get into, man. But you gotta check it out. The first
Yeah.
episode just talks all about that.
Yeah.
And
Did you
like-
grow up watching it?
not really. Like this WWE was on the TV a little bit growing
Yeah.
up, but I wasn't like a super fan like how some fans are. I used to really like Undertaker and Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, Undertaker.
But like
especially.
I have some friends that are like, you know, diehard wrestling fans.
I love Stone Cold. I love
Mhm.
Triple H. Undertaker obviously is one of my favorites. Were you ever a John Cena fan?
He's cool.
Yeah.
I really like what he does nowadays. He's like a upstanding ass dude.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Making what are those Make a Wish Foundation?
Yeah, and he's
meeting
like
the
acting
kids.
and doing funny shit.
He's retiring this upcoming year.
Is he?
Yeah, he
I don't
is
believe that.
officially.
I don't believe that.
He's
come
doing
out of retirement.
he's doing a whole retirement tour.
Ah.
So he has to at that
Well,
point.
he can say that, and then he's gonna come back and like it's gonna be the next like on a WrestleMania 100. He's gonna come back and
He'll be
my
70
John
years
Cena's
old.
Back.
He'll probably make
Ah.
appearances but not wrestle. Probably.
That's what. No, I think he will wrestle.
Yeah.
I think he will do like the fucking the people's elbow off the top rope at like 80 years old. Cause bro, yeah,
Yeah.
he got it in him.
He does, dude. His arms are like
It's a big
he's
dude,
jacked, dude. His arms
man.
are.
I wonder if he did any supplements. He had any,
I think he admitted he
assisted.
did
He
back
did?
in the day
okay.
when he was younger. Yeah, he admitted to it, but obviously later on he stopped because
Mm-hmm.
that shit could fuck you up.
You ever been to a wrestling match?
Dude, I've been to a couple.
Yeah?
The most recent one was earlier this year.
Mm.
It's like not a newer company. Well, they've been around for
AEW?
AEW.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah.
around for 4 or 5 years now.
They're dope.
Um,
Where you see him at? Like at the
at Phoenix
Honda?
at the Suns
Oh,
Arena.
okay.
Yeah, at the Suns Arena. I went with my cousin and it was
No, they're ill. They do. It's because like they're trying hard to make it. So I think some of those wrestlers are like doing some.
they're going
crazy
harder.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see them pulling out thumbtacks and
Yeah.
barbed wire.
Man, I've been
yeah.
seeing those clips on Instagram. They're like the underground wrestling, or they're just breaking light poles on people.
Yeah,
and
they're like the
jumping
light
onto
tubes.
nails and shit.
Yeah,
That shit is crazy.
I don't know how they do that. And the underground wrestling that does that, they don't get paid shit either for doing
they're
that.
getting like $20 and
Going
a
through
corn
glass,
dog, you know,
literally $20 and a corn dog, and that's just enough to pay for your gas barely, right?
Yeah.
and then maybe give you a snack. I don't know how people do that, but my dude growing up, Jeff Hardy. Do you know who that is?
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy.
Hardy's fire.
When I was 5 or 6 years old, I always wanted to emulate his moves, jumping off ladders, going through. I'd get big empty boxes and pretend it's like a table,
Yeah,
right?
break
And
through
I
a
would
box.
jump
That's
off the
fire.
ladder and like just land through the box. And dude, he was my dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that with my siblings when I was growing up. We were just wrestling, jumping off the bed,
Yeah.
breaking shit.
Hey, if
Being
Jeff Hardy's
bad.
ever in here, man, you know what I'm talking about. You got to hit me up, dude, because, yeah, he has wrestlers come in here.
That's fire.
Yeah. Do you know Billy Gunn
Hell no.
from DX?
No disrespect. I just don't know who you are.
From DX with Triple H, Shawn Michaels. He was in that
word.
group.
Like, see, I'm not big.
But you know,
wrestling guy.
those wrestlers
Yeah.
are at Triple H, Shawn Michaels, but he was in that group. Billy Gunn, he's also huge. And he's
I
like
feel
60
bro,
years
these guys
old.
are like 7 feet tall, 310,
Yeah.
all like 6% body fat. It's crazy.
Okay, one last one. Do you know Edge and Christian?
Who?
Edge and Christian.
No.
They were tag team. They would wrestle with the Hardys all the time.
Oh, it may be. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not
Christian
gonna
came
act
and
super
sat in
hard.
that exact seat.
I'm in
Yeah.
good spaces right now.
There you go. Christian
I'm gonna
is.
just hop on the table and do a backflip.
I know. Grab the light tube and just start our own wrestling match and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, so yeah, like what's the plan for 2025 for you, man? We got a new year coming. You say you have new music coming out in
So new
January.
music, dropping the new project on the 1st. Dropping a lot of basically just dumping the clip, just dropping all the songs and videos I got. So dropping my first album, the top in the first quarter, and then just dropping projects, dropping music. A lot of plans. Like I prefer not to speak on them too much, just so like they can come about without like
Right.
the energy of speaking about it, stopping it. But a lot of music, a lot more than I ever dropped, and doing a lot of shows, trying to get myself a tour, whether it's myself or opening for somebody. Just music focused. Like I did a lot of acting stuff for the last couple of years, and it was doing well. And so I've been spending this last bit of time really focusing my intention on music, and I've been feeling the benefit too. Like people are, like I said, the engagement's growing a little bit.
For
People are showing
someone
love.
For someone that does so much, like you do modeling, you do acting, you do music, and a number of other things. What are you most passionate about out of those things that you do?
Oh yeah, I get that question a lot. Because I do all of it for the reason of this. I can and choose to express myself in all these ways. But I found that I really enjoy performing. So whether that be on stage at a show, doing rap music, or on stage doing theater or acting or on camera.
You just love the stage, right?
I love performing and entertaining folks. And so when it comes to like the breakdowns of like what I do, acting is a cool opportunity just to show human experiences. Like I've done the only thing I've done that's out. Well, actually not true, because like I have that movie that came out this year, but then there's a short film I did called Jerome with my good buddy, the director John Franco, and that short film toured around a bunch of film festivals for the last couple of years. We filmed it in 2022, and it just showed in an international film in China last month, which is crazy. It's still doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we've been all around with that film, but it's human stories, and get to show these expressions of people, and like I know how inspired I have been from movies, and just in general, like pop culture, up for the last 6 decades, has been influenced by movies.
Yeah,
like straight up, the whole world understands like American pop culture because of movies, and so people's whole lives and the way they are and the value systems are often based around movies and movie characters.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then music is just my lens and my story, and so I get to talk about things very specific to me,
more personal,
extremely personal. I'm the kind of artist that's really like transparent, so I just talk about like my past and things I've been with. Like I'm a sober person. I've been sober for almost 5 years, and I was going through drug addiction and alcoholism when I was a teenager, and so I just talk about
congrats,
those kind
man,
of things.
on that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's a tough hurdle to overcome, honestly.
Yeah. So, but things like that, I get to kind of share those experiences of a human, whether it's through myself as and music, or like some character I get to be. That's what and so it all kind of is all encompassing too, because the other side of it is like we got to build the business, and like we got to get the engagement in the audience, and you got to build understanding the industries that we are in, but at the same time with keeping what's really important at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah. What did you get into first?
Uh Technically acting, like I did
Acting.
commercials growing up,
Okay.
but I guess in like as an adult and like really taking it serious and making money off it all, it was a combination. I think music. I started from like writing in high school, and then 2019 and 2020 is when like a bunch of shit happened for everybody, but like for me specifically, I was like
Right.
going through a lot of shit, and then started making music and writing really seriously, and then they've always been going on at the same time. Just acting happened to be the first thing to like take off and have something big happen.
What's your writing process like when you make music?
It's like it's always when inspiration strikes. Like
Yeah.
I do my best to set myself up so that it can happen. So I'm not just like sitting around waiting for inspiration.
Right.
But like I was talking to my homie Kwame, and I realized that all of my music is written like in the car.
Yeah.
It's not good like while I'm driving, and so I'll either be like driving and typing out.
You're
the
like
lyrics.
swerving into it.
Yeah, or I'll just like pull over and I'll get these lyrics out. Whether it's just like in my head or I have like beats that are sent to me. I'm like, oh, I feel like writing to this or writing to that.
Yeah.
But usually like with like the more serious stuff or the more conscious rap, they really kind of come from a place above me. Like Pharrell, you see the new movie that Pharrell did,
I haven't yet.
Brick by Brick.
No, I
It's
haven't.
really good.
I've heard
I feel
of
like
it. Yeah.
every creative person should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
One, just because Pharrell's story is dope and like his credits are crazy. But then two, a lot of the philosophies of creativity and art, he really gets to explain really well.
Mm-hmm.
But like one of his ideas is basically that creativity comes from a place higher than us, right? So
Oh yeah.
any idea we get is not really ours. We just get the chance to make it happen.
Yeah. No, I
And
totally
so
believe in that. Yeah.
Oftentimes, like with lyrics, I'll write, and sometimes I forget the meaning or I don't know the meaning right away, and then the meaning comes to me later or through somebody else. Like, oh, you said this and this meant this to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's very much the case. It's not like a haphazard, abstract, throwing paint at a wall and then somebody.
Yeah.
It's like it's oddly specific, but I can't always coin what it means. And
Right.
like, if you like with this album, my first album I'm gonna put out, that idea kind of comes out fairly easier than I'm explaining it right now. You know,
Yeah.
like the things I'm talking about are very specific to my story and myself, but then how I talk about things and the way I talk about certain things, you are very much asked to like interpret and feel what it is for yourself. That's
Yeah.
that's always my goal, is to bring that relatability for somebody.
Are you a religious person?
I was raised religious, but
Yeah.
I'm not. Like went to like private Catholic school my whole life.
Yeah.
But I'm a spiritual person. Like I believe in like there's a higher power.
Yeah, I
above
believe
us.
in that
But
too, yeah.
I'm really interested by different religions. Like I like a lot of stuff in Buddhism, with like reincarnation and karma. I believe in that. I think the stories in the Bible are really cool. Like they're really good anecdotes and analogies or allegories rather for what to do, how to be.
I believe literally everything happens for a reason, and like what you said, there's that higher power that
Yeah.
kind of controls that in a sense, you know, like everything happens for a reason. I feel like we're not fully in control of, you know, what happens around us in a sense.
Not
you
at
know?
all, man.
We're in
We have-
control of how we react to things. Don't get me
that's
wrong.
always what I say. We have no control over anything except our own reaction to things.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I also think that like whatever you believe is true. Like if you believe you're gonna go to hell, then you're gonna go to hell.
I know, right?
Or
Like,
if you
oh,
think-
I've been a shitty person.
If you think you'll
know?
reincarnate into an ant, that'll happen to you. I think
Yeah.
we have a lot of power as humans, as like people with spirits, to create our own
Yeah.
reality, both here and after. But at the same time, I really don't know. Like, there's no proof of nothing for real. They're just
Right.
like those feelings you get.
Like we don't know what
Of-
happens
of
to us
faith.
really when we die. Like we don't.
Yeah, people say they have proof and evidence and things, but like I said, you won't know until you know.
Yeah.
And then so until then, what are you doing? And that's what I try to focus more on. Is like, how are you like an asshole or not? You know, you
Just be
being
a good
nice.
person, man. Be kind. And I feel like if you're that type of person, then, you know, you just get that love back, you know?
100%.
Regarding like more of the spiritual thing, like regarding like ghosts and all that stuff. Like I feel like those type of things, entities and stuff like that. It's not, you know how some people say, oh, like my relative that passed away or my friend that passed away, whatever. I don't believe in that because I feel like there's more of a demonic force that tries to emulate that. And you think that, oh, maybe that is my family friend. But I feel like if you truly were resting in peace, you wouldn't be kind of.
I mean, shit, if I passed away right now, I'm gonna make sure I'm watching over my boy Cam or my boy Sony and his parlays and make sure they hit before I pass on peacefully. I'm like, hold on. Make sure you met 25. I feel you though, man. Like,
yeah.
Who knows? That's
it's just it's really hard to like, you know, fully understand and kind of just wrap around what truly happens to everybody when we die. But you know what I don't understand? This world's been around for how many years? Like
at least 15.
At least, yeah. Where are all the dead bodies at? Where are all the dead bodies?
Man, they are.
Are they ashes? Are they bones?
I was about to be so grim. I was gonna be like, they're like half of them are in Skid Row, just there. Like it's fucked up, bro. That's another thing I really care about. Is like we got a lot of issues both abroad and really around here. Like we got a real issue with homelessness in LA.
We do,
and with the drug epidemic, it's crazy. Not to be like take a grim turn, but it's like that's something that I think about a lot. It's like, okay, what the fuck are we doing? And we're moving into this new year, and it's gonna be even more shit going on. And like, how can we help? You know, that's why I was at the TDE Christmas. They had the TDE Christmas in Watts, with like Kendrick and SZA and all them folks. And there's a huge toy drive, and that's things like that are really cool. Of one, you get to bring people together for music for free. Then you're also doing something with a good cause, and I think that's happened a lot more. Whether it's like I have a friend of mine named Mike Severa. He does he has this group he started, or not, he has a group he started called Not Too Cool to Care, and he collaborates a lot with this other group called Hardly Ever Home. I'm sorry if I'm butchering y'all stuff, but they do a lot of great stuff like toy drives and food drives and
just helping out in the community.
Community helping, and I think that's super important. And we as a people, and really like speaking directly to people in closer to my age in our mid-20s, in our 20s, just we are entering this.
Sorry, bro.
that was a stray. But we're entering this time as like this next responsible generation, and we gotta do these things. It's important. Like we can't. Not one person can knock out the whole problem and all the problems. Yeah. But we can all do our part. I think that's really important. Whether it's just creating, if you're creative, maybe it's just creating something that starts that conversation. Yeah, is important. Whatever it may be.
Regarding the homelessness here in LA, though, I saw something that LA they put in like I think $2 billion just to kind of combat the homelessness here, but
I don't know what they did with that money.
Where's that money? Like, what did they do?
Like certain camps you're used to seeing, like out in Hollywood or over even on like Rodeo.
It seemed like it didn't do anything.
Where did the homeless people go? Is the question. Like if you go to certain streets, you like if you drive around LA, you know what I'm talking about. Where all of a sudden, these people disappeared, and like I know what really happened. Like they kind of round people up in these vans and kind of just ship them outside of the city onto the outskirts because they're trying to clean it up for the Olympics, which is
that's coming up.
Really cool, but also it's like fuck, we're just pushing off a problem so we can like it's really
oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Really freaky
that aspect.
Because like no, like we're just like cleaning up our shit so that
and it's gonna take at least 3 to 4 years to really make LA.
But the thing is like that's gonna happen, and LA's gonna look all pretty and nice, and they're gonna have all these bike lanes and there's gonna be all these foreigners around. It's gonna be a great exchange of culture. It's gonna be really cool, like legitimately. And then once that's over, we're just gonna come back with all those problems, and probably like times 10 because it just festers off somewhere else, and that has to flood back in. But
what's
I'm
the
not
point
gonna,
of it? Like going backwards like that though after the Olympics.
But I don't know.
I just don't get the point.
That's all capitalism, man. Yeah. That's simply put. And I'm not even like this super. I'm not the most educated in all these topics, man. I just try to pay attention and see what I can do. But then, so for me, there's only so much capacity I have for the news before I'm just completely overwhelmed with like, damn, I'm not on that doomcore shit. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's fucked, Tommy, we're gonna die.
At the end of the
know?
day, this is all temporary, right? At the end
Yeah,
of the
man.
day,
I'd rather just keep watching my anime and keep waiting for the next season of One Piece or whatever, man. That's
hey,
what
do
I'm
what makes
hoping
you
for.
happy, man.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's awesome. How important is it for an artist to evolve? How important do you think it is for an artist to evolve when it's needed?
completely. I mean,
Yeah.
like as a human, you gotta evolve, but
Uh-huh.
as an artist, both in like the development of yourself as an artist and as well as the way you're perceived by your fans, you always want to evolve, right?
Mhm.
So, as much as like a good example is, you know, how people are always like, I miss the old Kanye, right?
Yeah.
As much as people say that, if Kanye made 7 more college dropouts after he made the college dropout, we would be bored of him by the second one.
Then the
You know?
college dropout that we know today wouldn't
No,
be as
yeah. And so like you also love and appreciate these artists because they go on these different. Or Tyler Creator's a better, not a better, but a good example too of like you look at Goblin or Wolf or Cherry Bomb. Even you look at this freaking menace to society of an artist back then.
To me, that's what makes them special is that
and then
it's still there.
But then he
in the
developed
past.
into, we got Chromacopia and Igor
Yeah.
and Calm to Get Lost. And so people want to see this evolution, and you have this appreciation as a fan for these people because of this growth that they actively pursued. And then also for these people, like you get to explore new concepts and ideas and express yourself in different ways. You're more capable because you have more experiences doing these things. That's super important.
Trying new things and just seeing how you are as an artist too, like doing these new things and evolving and see what you can do, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know, my dream interview here is Tinashe, and she's evolved.
Yeah.
She's evolved so much over her like 10-year span of being an artist. And I think since she went independent, her music has gotten like amazing. She's always been great, but like since she's been independent in the last 3 years after she got dropped from the record, or she stopped you know, with all the record labels that, you know, try to sign her. She she just has more creative freedom. She's just an all around, I think, better artist with full creative freedom, and how she has been able to like transform to who she is today. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's kind of like an ongoing conversation for everybody that's an artist, like a music artist. Is like the thing between the debate between independent artists versus like being backed by a label. They both have their benefit, the pros and cons, right? Like these labels are like banks for real. You have like real access to resources and things to do.
Yeah.
But we're experiencing this decline of labels and industry execs because streaming and social media.
Yeah.
And so like the independent artist is, and also, like I said, like the idea of like not being shelved and being able to do what you want as an artist. Like all my friends and people I know, both in and outside of labels, are talking about this stuff of like, oh, I want to be independent, or oh, I could use the label backing. So it all depends on like what you do.
I think that's what happened with her. She was
You know,
shelved.
have a good entertainment lawyer is what I always hear.
Yeah.
Figure that out if you do, because like I said, it's not bad to, if you have like capital backing you, they give you a crazy advance to be able to do some real stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the obvious pitfall is like spending your advance on bullshit, and then you have to pay all this money back,
Right.
You know?
Because it's not yours.
Whether
it's not fully yours.
It's a lot. I have a lot of. I'm grateful for the friends I have that give me those perspectives, because if and when those conversations happen for me, I'll be more educated to move in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. What knowledge do you give your friends if they ask you for advice with anything? Like, for example, if it's in more of the creative route, what knowledge can you like give your friends, or just anybody in general? Like, say if I asked you for advice right now, like what would you say to me if I wanted to like make this podcast into like something bigger?
I think the one thing is to have a real appreciation and like a visual understanding of like the small victories, right? So if you're making podcasts,
those are important,
and you're posting, it's really easy to get like to be comparative, and that's going to be the comparison is like the thief of joy, and I suffer from that all the time.
Right.
But like hey, if you posted this one reel last month and it did this many views, and then you post this reel today and you're getting this many views more, that's a victory, or like that many more shares, or that many more likes or comments or whatever. That's important.
Right.
And in the same way of those little victories, it's also taking these little steps, right? Because we have these goals often that we put in the future of like, oh, I want this to happen and that to happen.
And then if it doesn't happen, it's
right.
like, damn.
But
you know?
if you can like take these little small steps of like building these bricks of like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna have more producer friends, or maybe I'm gonna have like you make these little small achievable goals and you start knocking them away. You look back and you see, oh, you've
done these, you've done this, you've done this.
Far from that. You gotta keep growing on the small victories.
And consistency is key. You just gotta keep, especially if it's something that you love doing and it's the passion. Like just keep going. You know.
Yeah, that'd be the main thing. Is like keep it small, keep it simple, both with what you perceive and how you perceive, and also like what you're working on. Just like stay strong and steady. Don't let your head make things too big for yourself. Like, oh, I didn't get this amount of views or engagement. Expectations aren't met. That's what I would say.
So obviously, being a creative in general, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? So like, how do you overcome like your low moments? Like, how do you overcome like tough hurdles in your process?
I always tell like both for my like, for example, I got homies going through breakups right now, right?
Right.
And I always tell people just like stay around your friends and your family, stay busy, you know. Or if you're creative, like I know a lot of creative people that I know, when it's all around, we have this issue. In fact, I saw it on one of your clips from another guy you were talking to on your podcast, where you kind of think about if you're a creative person, that's all you do and it's all you know. And so like the idea of doing something else is like foreign because we have all this time spent on like the thing we're doing. But you gotta take care of bills or whatever, right? So it's like my cousin really gave me a good perspective about it, but it's like if I take this job somewhere that seems completely out of the direction of what I'm trying to do, it's not a step back.
It's not. No.
Because it's a perspective thing. If you can treat everything as like a lesson to learn, whether like say I wanted to go into professional sports and have the opportunity to go train with some club team over here, right? I'm not making music or whatever over there, but maybe I'm learning the dedication of training every day and working with a team, whatever it may be. Or if you're like simply working a job because you got to work a job to pay bills, you're like just do what you can when you can, and keep your head on straight more than anything else. Don't let things overwhelm you and push you out the way.
Yeah, don't like get too involved like up here. Don't like overthink. And I think also having a good support system too helps a lot.
That having the friends around you, man, having the folks, your friends and family. I'm really blessed to have a great community of folks that I talk to and that listen to me.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I feel like that's very important. Like like right here on top, that's important, you know. And I feel honestly, dude, I feel like what we were just saying, the more you keep doing it too, like obviously overcome your low moments. And then obviously that, like I said, it's temporary. Just keep going. It's temporary, you know, just everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Honestly, how I've been looking at things lately is you're stressed. You have all these emotions. You can get stressed, happy, sad, mad, angry, pissed, whatever, all these emotions. Just be blessed that you have all these emotions. That means you're alive. Yeah. That means you're alive. You know,
living.
Yeah.
Going through breakup.
No matter what you're going through, that just means you're alive.
In pain, you're alive.
You're alive. Yeah. That's what that means for me.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good right there.
And like I just try to put that in perspective if I'm ever going through some shit, whatever that may be. And then regarding the job thing too, it's like, if you're a creative and then you have to do this bullshit job or whatever job that's totally not whatever you want to do, you're just use that job to just kind of build and like save and invest into that thing that you really want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
do the job until your job is what you want to do. And the last thing I'd say too is like it's the consistency or the dedication. If you never stop, you're guaranteed to succeed. Like no matter what, anybody like. Whatever you do, if you wanna be the #1 soccer reviewer on Instagram, Like, and you
Yeah.
do that every day, or like as consistent as you can, and you never stop, you will be the number one eventually. That's just what it is. Like, at least when it comes to the social digital age, like the numbers show, like as long as you stick to it, it's gonna happen for you. Doesn't matter how talented you are. And that's like the one guaranteed through line for everybody. Ooh, excuse
Yeah.
me, for everybody. If I stay consistent with this task, it's gonna happen for me.
Yeah. And I
And
feel like
that's
people
what you
can
have to
sense
know.
if you're authentic or not. Like if you're just doing.
Even if you're inauthentic, man, it's gonna work for you.
That-
I'm telling you, if I pour milk on my head every day, I'm gonna get 1 million views eventually. Like that's how.
Why
that's
do you
how
think people
it is.
gravitate towards stuff like that though? Because I have a friend in Phoenix. He's in a very talented band, Prime Society. Very dude. He's a bass player and dude, super talented. Jay Reed, shout out Jay Reed.
Shout out Jay Reed, man.
He put on his story of him in the bathtub, like obviously just showing his legs. Him in the bathtub with socks on. Water's in the bathtub, but just socks on. He got engagement up the ass just from that story. But like if he's posting, I don't know, a clip of his band performing or like him playing bass, it'll do okay. It'll do good. But compared to, oh my God, he's wearing socks in the bathtub full of water. What the fuck is
The
this guy
absurdity
doing?
of it is just
I
gonna-
know. He literally had a list. Like he could go like this of all the notifications.
Yeah.
Why do you think people gravitate towards shit like that? Just silly shit like that.
I guess that's the easiest way to say it. It's just silly.
Yeah.
I think maybe part of it is like this idea of like this impending doom that lingers over everybody. So like I can get my distraction from this little absurdity over here. That's why like the memes we have nowadays are so crazy and weird. Depending on your algorithm, you could be seeing some weird shit. You know,
Especially the memes. Hey, we're just chill
know?
guys, man. We're just chill
man,
guys.
shout out chill guy, man. That's what I do. I strive every day just to hands and pockets.
We're just chill guys, right, Zeus? We're just chill guys, you know?
Just chilling dudes.
Just trying to do our thing.
But it's something to do with that. With just people choosing that distraction, wanting that distraction, that relief from whatever.
Do you think that's what it is? It's just a distraction for them, and it just like kind
I
of.
think that's what I think what it boils down to. I mean, well, yeah, and then like, because like
He did that to prove a point.
yeah,
too.
but what sucks is like it's always like some deeper, ill-intended reason for all this shit, right? Like
Yeah.
social media is set up to steal our attention. Like the algorithms have been created so that they can track what's the best way to keep people scrolling and engaged.
Right.
And then because of that, the people are creating. You know, that's if you really want to ask. That's how it happened. The trend of us looking at these memes is because the algorithm saw us looking at something back in the day, and then they saw that worked and that changed, so they started boosting that some more, and we keep seeing that kind of stuff. And then it's like that. Man, anything can be like the trend or the highest engaging.
How the fuck are
thing.
these memes created? Who created the first "I'm just a chill guy" meme?
Bro, think about it.
How are
Like,
these
bro,
created?
if you really think about it, like the memes we see today really came out. You remember like the troll face, and
Yeah.
like, Forever Alone, and
Yeah.
those like you remember iFunny? Were you ever on iFunny?
I wasn't on iPhone, you know.
Do you know what that was though?
I
It was like
think I
one of like
remember.
the first meme pages, like an app.
Yeah, I think I
Similar
remember.
to like just imagine just memes, but it was just like a reel of just memes.
Do you know what iFunny is? No.
I know people know iFunny. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh shit. But it stems from that. And like, what did memes come from? I don't know,
Like, who created the-
cartoon panels or some shit? I don't
Yeah.
know. There were like online comics when they first began.
Yeah.
Like the guy eating cereal and then he spits it out or some shit. Or
Yeah.
like, they had like the Yao Ming laughing face. Like,
The
remember
Yao
these?
Ming laughing face.
Um,
Yeah.
The memes we have today are direct. Those are the grandfathers. If you think about it, I mean, if you
They started a
you can
whole.
follow the trend. There's definitely a subreddit out there that has the iceberg of memes,
Yeah.
and it probably goes through all of it.
That's crazy.
I'm positive there's a subreddit out there that has it all explained. And
Like, imagine
and
if it's
pinpointed.
just like a dude that just created "I'm just a chill guy" meme, and then it started this whole thing. He's not getting paid for it. He just started.
oh, you know what's funny? Do you know Funny Marco?
Yeah, Funny Marco.
So
yeah.
he had this interview recently with Ray J and Orlando Brown. And Ray J and Orlando, they said something that was like really absurd, but also I was like low key made a lot of sense. And basically they said, if Ray J never did that sex tape with Kim Kardashian, we would be in a completely different place.
We really
And like
would be.
arguably, we would be
We
because of
fucking
like
would be.
I think like meme culture, like the internet and the way it is in social media. A lot of that came out of the provocation of that moment.
The world would be
Yeah,
such
you
a different
know?
place without that.
I don't want to
Isn't
give him
that
too much
crazy?
credit, but I remember seeing that in that video. I was like, you know, he might be right.
And didn't her mom, Kim's mom, like
No,
kind of
because
help?
they like they put money into making that be exposed. Like the family themselves made that blow
fucking
up.
weird too. The
Yeah,
mom and
man.
everything. Like that's
Hey, but
weird.
you know, Kim Kardashian, I ain't got no issues with you though. Like I fuck with Skims and like you know.
See, but we wouldn't have that, would we? If that
not at
tape
all.
didn't come out, yeah.
So I respect you and your decisions as a family.
Hey,
I want no problems with the Kardashians.
she's a hustler. I mean, I'll give them that credit. She's a hustler.
Yeah, man.
Same with
Ray J.
Ray J. And then I was about to say, however you want to name it or name her, Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, hustler too. You know,
Yeah, man.
yeah, he still has his voice, right? Like he's
They, whatever they identify as.
Yeah, she still has his voice, dude. Man, I saw old tapes though of Bruce when he was in the Olympics, dude. Monster, beast. He killed it, dude. She killed it,
Mm-hmm.
man. And on the box of Wheaties back in the day, Wheaties.
I got a box of Wheaties, man. From the like, if you watch the Underdogs, they made on set. They made like Wheaties boxes out of me for like the movie. It was sick as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
I never got one. I was mad about that. They had like literally 40 Wheaties boxes printed. We did this whole photo shoot. I'm like catching the ball. It's fire.
Yeah,
And I don't have one. And I still like at MGM and Amazon. Y'all gotta get me my Wheaties box, man. I need that.
Yeah, man. Back when the Wheaties box too, like I think that meant something. That's like, okay, that's kind of like your version of, you know, being on a cover of like a magazine or something back then.
1,000,
If
man.
if you were an athlete, especially.
What? Yeah, that's huge. Michael Phelps was up in there.
Michael
Kyrie
Phelps.
had one.
Yeah.
A
I
lot
don't
of
think
folks.
does it mean as much now, I think, maybe.
Oh, bro, if I was an athlete and I'm on Wheaties, that means something.
I mean,
to
your
me.
face is everywhere, right? On
Yeah.
grocery stores. So
But I would choose a cooler cereal, maybe.
Yeah.
I could. You got a favorite cereal? You do like, yeah, what's your favorite? What's like your tier list?
Okay. I don't eat cereal that much anymore, but I remember Fruity Pebbles was good. Cinnamon Toast Crunch was always up there. Let's see. Honestly, Reese's Puffs too. I love Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs was good. And honestly, I don't think they even sell this anymore, but they had like the chunk Rice Krispie chunks. But it wasn't just all chunks. It was like Rice Krispies, but then there was like chunks in it. It was like really good. That was solid.
Sound good.
Yeah. What about you?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
This is not a sponsorship. I did a Frosted Flakes commercial back in the day, so I fuck with Frosted Flakes.
There you go.
We'll just say like Honey Nut Cheerios. Kind of boring, but I fuck with it.
Yeah, Honey Nut
You know?
Cheerios. I like Honey Nut Cheerios. I like slicing up banana and putting my
Okay.
banana in Honey Nut
But
Cheerios.
for whatever, I don't mind banana, but as soon as you like chop it up outside of that peel, I do not fuck with it. Like no yogurt, not on the side. It just gets weird for me. Like it's like I don't know if it's like the texture. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. It gets like slimy. I don't fuck with sliced banana.
Damn.
I don't know
So
if-
you just
yeah.
like open the peel and then you're just like eating it and shit.
Yeah. Just pause. I just,
Pause. You just like
he said I'm just eating them.
eating the banana, the hand motion.
Yeah,
and everything.
man. Yeah, man.
Well, real quick, I know you've been to places like Japan, Puerto Rico, and all those places. Tell us about that.
Oh man, this last year I've traveled more than I ever have. It was dope. Just like I intended that for myself, and I did. Went to London for the first time, Japan.
Was it just to travel, or was there
Just to
anything
travel,
specific?
like London. That week I went. I was in New York first, and it was like for New York Fashion Week, and then I went out for London Fashion Week. I was participating in New York Fashion Week, and then London. I was just there at the same time. So the combination of like it makes sense as a creative person, a model to be out here at these places at this time, and then also I was like I'd never been before. Oh, excuse me.
No worries.
Podcast foul. Got my ringer on.
One time I had moaning noises coming out of my phone.
That's
No, I'm
funny.
kidding. I'm kidding.
That's funny. He never closed out the Pornhub browser.
Imagine if he's local watching porn right now and
Never
like it's
closed
like
it
on
out.
the speakers and
Man, that's crazy.
That happened to a teacher once. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna get into it. There was a teacher in my middle school that happened to. It was
No way.
crazy.
Were you in that class?
There was a couple classes that had stories, but she had to leave.
Wait,
she got asked to leave.
She? You normally it's like a dude.
Yeah, she.
And she was watching porn?
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Normally it's dudes, obviously, right?
If you went to CCS in Los Angeles, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And God bless her heart.
Dang, okay.
She's a great person. Just got some. We all got vices.
That's true. Was she attractive? I mean, I'm just trying to picture like what she looked like.
We all got our vices, man.
Yeah, we do. That's true. Got our vices. I mean, I could go further about my own thing, but I won't. So
They were.
But yeah, so Puerto Rico, Japan.
Yeah, it's traveling.
Anyways,
traveling was good, man. I just, the thing about traveling, one, it always gives me just a cool reset and a perspective shift of like, okay, just bigger picture of things, but it really does. Traveling really does help you, just get a better worldview of like what's going on, like especially like being being born and raised in LA and existing in this like creative space. Getting out of it is always so helpful. It just creates it's like, okay, I don't gotta worry about that shit for real. It's not that important.
You're
deep.
Experiencing new things, seeing new sights,
seeing how people are outside
different
of
cultures,
what you're used to. It's dope. I suggest everybody to go travel just to go see some shit. A lot of people I know, they have never like left LA or they have never done like some people. Some people have never. Like some people I know in the hood have never went to the beach living in LA, and it's like, and that's a whole nother, like, it sucks because everything when it comes to like these explanations of why these things are, it's really just really dark. And it's like, you got the institutionalization of the prison industrial complex and all this kind of shit. But
yeah,
I always tell people is get out as much as you can. If you can, like, if you have, get a passport. Go and get your passport and go leave.
Passports aren't that much money either. They're like, what, $30-$40, something like that.
But also, like, if you don't have a passport and you want to travel, I'd tell go to Puerto Rico because it's a U.S. colony, which sucks, But you can experience a very different culture than American culture in Puerto Rico without having to have a passport. And it's really pretty. It's beautiful. People are nice. It's dope.
Yeah. Did you like meet a lot of cool people like that you still are in contact with today from
Not in
these
Puerto
other
Rico,
places?
but in this last year, I have some people I met in Japan that are really dope. I got a lot of people in London I met. I went to Cuba, which is where my mom's from. I'm Cuban.
Oh, nice.
And many like cousins and friends and family I met over there. And I go out of my way to meet people around the world. And a lot of people I also meet in LA also come from other places too. So it's like, hey, I'll make that relationship. And hey, if you're ever in Berlin, come stay by. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow you up on that.
Yeah. And honestly, it's at the end of the day, you only get one shot in this world. Like travel, meet new people, do new things, Try to experience as much as you can. Even if I know sometimes for people money could get tough and all that, but don't obviously fully let that control you as much as you can.
You can't take it with you is what I always feel.
That's
much
like
as you
my
can. Poor excuse for why I buy certain things. I'm like, I can't take it with me. I'm gonna be irresponsible with my cash. But go experience, go see stuff.
Yeah, like especially coming up 2025 and beyond, I want to travel more, experience new things, meet new people, because I've only traveled in states and I've only traveled to maybe 5-6 different places. Texas.
You never been outside the country?
Never been out of country.
Yeah, I'm telling you, get your passport.
Yeah.
Before you have to wait for your passport though, go to Puerto Rico. Check it out. I got hella recommendations in Puerto Rico, man.
Go.
I got you.
Now I know who to hit up if I'm ever in Puerto Rico.
Seriously, like one of the best things I ever did in my life was in Puerto Rico. They have 2 small islands off the coast, and one of them has like the brightest bioluminescent water in the world. You know what that is? So it's like bioluminescent organisms are like these little small, I think,
like micro
living things. Yeah. So like it's the thing that makes what's it called? A firefly. Like fireflies, they glow because of this organism in their body.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of this in the water over in this over by this island. And so
Uh-huh.
at nighttime they have these people with these glass bottom kayaks, and you can go out there and it's really dark, no lights, and it's like you ever watch like a Studio Ghibli movie or like Avatar?
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like that. It's just like these glowing blue lights
That's
everywhere, and every
beautiful.
time you like hit the water, it just splashes, sparkles. It's an insane experience. It happens in LA every now and then too. Every now and then, we experience some bioluminescent water at the beach, and so if you ever hear about that and you can check it out, go check it out.
That sounds very beautiful.
I like that was like literally like a top 5 bucket list thing ever in my life. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
I would tell everybody like go to Puerto Rico and go do that because it's the brightest in the whole world.
When you travel to these places, do you go alone and like?
No, I've always went with like somebody, whether it was like a homie or a friend or a partner or something. But I intend to travel by myself a lot more next year and just in general. It's one thing to like have an experience with some people. It's another thing to just go and see. I'm definitely trying to. I think the next place I'm going to go to, I told myself was going to be either revisiting the places I've been already or like Costa Rica. Or actually, no, Paris. I haven't been to Paris yet.
Ooh, I would love
and, like, I'm trying
to
to
go
get
to
there for
Paris.
Paris Fashion Week and some more shit.
Even Australia would be nice to go to.
Yeah, I was in Mexico City recently. And I met somebody from Australia. I gotta go check them out over there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I think you know what, 2025 has a good ring to it. Like just the year in general.
I think it can be great if you set up for yourself, man.
Yeah.
Or it can be terrible if you tell yourself it's gonna be terrible.
At the end of the day, it's all mindset, right?
Yeah,
all mindset.
But
yeah. So, any last words to anybody that might be listening, watching? Any last words of those people? Anything that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I'm dropping an EP on January 1st, 2025. Kami Sama was a nigga, but he's dead now. With Kwame Adu producing it. There will be more music after that. Doing hella shows after that. A lot of things, man. A lot of things in the works. Just come check in. You can follow me on Instagram at HEZY. Real simple. And if you haven't watched anime, go watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because you're missing out on life if you don't watch anime. I swear to God.
Top recommendation.
Swear to God.
Yeah, and Death Note.
Death Note's fire too.
Death Note.
Death Note. You start with Death Note too. It's
My
fire.
first anime from front to back, an amazing watch. Just I kind of want to rewatch it actually.
Yeah, no, it's definitely rewatchable.
Yeah. How many seasons of Full Metal?
There's technically one.
Is this like one long?
Just one, like 60 episodes, just one long story.
Yeah, 60 episodes. That's
So
right.
it's very. You could watch that in like 2 weekends.
Right.
Sit down, just binge it.
Yeah. One last thing. Where do you see yourself at this time a year from now?
Ooh, man, I hope to have already been on tour. I hope to have been in some more. I've shot some more movies, some TV shows. I've dropped 3 times as my current discography. Add an extra 0 in my bank account.
There you go. Add an extra
you know
0.
what I'm saying?
I'll add an extra 0 too, and then I'll have $10. There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
At least 2 digits.
Yeah, and maybe I've gotten a little bit closer to being more consistently happy and present.
That's good.
That's like the main thing. Like I've traveled a lot. All the things I've been talking about and doing, dropping music, making videos, going performing and doing things. Like sure, the career can benefit, but I hope I'm a lot more secure in myself and just happy and content. I think that's always the goal.
Nice.
End of the day.
At the end of the day, and again, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, man.
And
Put on a t-shirt, man.
Everything happens for a reason. Well, and then there's another t-shirt idea. Should I say this before we end it? All right. And there's another t-shirt idea. So there's this long story. I'll even tell you a little bit.
Get into it.
So for some reason, I always bring up openly about me catching an STD, right?
Okay. All right. Nah, own your truth, man.
Yeah. And I promise that other podcast episode would be my last one.
Make sure you get tested, guys, because you can't trust
also
folks.
Exactly,
Get tested.
So thing is, I tend to bring it up a lot, just share, you know, maybe bring awareness, right?
Hey, game is game.
Bring awareness, right? I mean, I didn't have to try that hard. But anyways, like I always bring it up. And then the shirt idea is I survived the Austin Kelly show without getting an STD. That's like kind of the thing, right?
That's that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, I could jack it.
Because I always bring it up, not always, but like there's been several episodes where I've brought
So now you're gonna make, hey man, make a merch. I'm sure some people will buy it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Pretty positive.
I'll set up the merch shop on Shopify or something.
No, you should 100% do that. You should like actually 1,000% do that.
Yeah,
if you're not doing it already.
Just like a basic like font, just everything. ...
I think you should do like the font with like a picture of you behind it, like hey.
I survived it. Yeah, we made
like a cool
picture
little
of like a
printed
disease
thing
or something.
Okay, yes. Hey man, I fuck with it.
Yeah, she was a TikTok person, influencer.
Let's not expose her unless you already have.
She deleted it, so I checked. On that note, man, dude, it was nice. It was nice meeting you. It was
nice
to
meet you, man.
Yeah, nice meeting you,
Pleasure.
man, dude. I'm glad I met you, and we could obviously, dude. I'll be back and forth a lot, so we can continue to like link up and stuff. I mean, you know, my boys Malachi and Levi, and hey, I'm sure
we're
there'll be
looking for that new music from y'all, man.
Yeah.
Kiko, I'm waiting.
Yeah, there'll be many times we'll probably link up, especially next year. So yeah. I'll have to have all you guys come in here because they want to be interviewed too.
Yeah,
so.
They should. That'd be fire.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to that. But yeah, thanks guys, and you could check him out on Spotify, Instagram, on those reels, of course.
Yeah, man, check me out. I think you'll like it.
And there you go, HAZY.
HEZY.
HE?
Yeah,
HEZY. How do you pronounce that?
HEZY.
HEZY. Check out HEZY on all platforms. Peace. There you go. That was beautiful.
Thank you, man. That's good. I like where we went.
That was